The sun was setting behind the small town of Ironville, painting the sky orange and red. The streets were quiet, except for the deep rumble of motorcycle engines rolling down the main road. A group of bikers, 6 men in black leather vests with the emblem Road Guardians MC, had just pulled into a roadside diner after a long ride. They parked their bikes side by side, the chrome shining in the fading light. People inside the diner looked up as the group entered. To outsiders, they looked tough. Tattoos, beards, and heavy boots. But those who knew them understood they weren't troublemakers. They were protectors. Hawk, the leader, was a tall man with calm grey eyes and a strong sense of justice. His crew included Tank, a big man with a soft heart. Ryder, always quick with a joke. And Wolf, quiet but fearless. They ordered coffee and burgers, talking softly about their next charity ride when something unusual caught Hawk's attention. Through the diner's big glass window, he saw a small boy sitting alone on the curb outside. His face was dirty, his knees scraped, and he was crying silently, clutching a broken toy truck in his tiny hands. Hawk frowned. He stood up, walked outside, and crouched beside the boy. "Hey there, little man," he said gently. "What happened? You okay?" The boy looked up, eyes full of tears. They broke my toy," he said, voice trembling, and they hit my mom." Hawk's heart froze. Behind him, the other bikers came out, hearing the boy's words. "Who did this?" Hawk asked, keeping his voice calm. The boy pointed a small finger toward the old steel factory down the road. "Those men. They came to our house near the factory. Mom told them to leave, but they pushed her. Then they broke my toy and laughed." Ryder clenched his fists. Tank's jaw tightened. Hawk placed a hand on the boy's shoulder. "What's your name, son?" "Ethan," the boy whispered. "Ethan," Hawk said softly, "you stay here with my friend Wolf. We'll go talk to those men." "All right?" And the boy nodded, wiping his tears. Wolf sat next to Ethan, giving him a chocolate bar from his jacket pocket. The other bikers walked toward their motorcycles. The engines roared to life, echoing across the quiet street like thunder rolling through the valley. Inside the diner, people peeked out the windows. The scene was straight out of a movie, the Road Guardians heading toward trouble. As they rode, dust swirled behind them. The factory stood at the edge of town, half abandoned, its metal doors rusted and windows cracked. But tonight there was movement. 3 men unloading crates from a truck, laughing loudly. The bikers parked outside and killed their engines. The laughter inside stopped. Hawk stepped forward, pushing open the factory door. The smell of oil and smoke filled the air. The men turned to look at them, confused. One of them, a tall, rough-looking guy with a cigarette hanging from his mouth, smirked. "You lost or something?" he said. "No," Hawk said coolly. "We're here because you broke a kid's toy and hit his mother." The smirk faded. The man's expression hardened. "That woman was getting in our way. We don't owe you an explanation." Tank stepped forward, towering over him. "You owe the kid an apology," he said. The other 2 men shifted nervously. Ryder cracked his knuckles. The air grew tense. The leader spat on the ground. "You bikers think you own this town." Hawk didn't flinch. "No," he said, "but we protect the people who live in it." The man laughed mockingly. "And then maybe you should mind your own business before someone gets hurt." That was the wrong thing to say. Hawk's eyes narrowed. "Someone already got hurt," he said quietly. "A woman. Because of you." The man stepped closer, trying to look intimidating, but the difference in presence was clear. The Road Guardians stood firm, unshaken. Ryder whispered, "You sure you want to do this the hard way, buddy?" The man shoved Hawk's chest. "Yeah, I'm sure." In an instant, Tank moved forward, grabbing the man by his collar and slamming him against the wall. Metal clanged. The other 2 men froze, unsure whether to run or fight. Hawk raised his hand slightly, signaling Tank to let go. "We're not here to fight," he said, his voice steady but sharp. "We're here to make things right. You're going to fix that toy, apologize to the woman, and return what you took. Or you'll be answering to all of us." The leader gritted his teeth. "You can't tell us what to do." Ryder stepped up beside Hawk. "We're not telling. We're giving you a choice." The silence hung heavy in the air. Finally, the man's arrogance faded. He looked at his friends, then back at the bikers. "All right," he muttered. We'll fix it. Hawk didn't move. And you'll apologize. Yeah, the man said, eyes down. The bikers didn't smile or celebrate. Justice wasn't about ego, it was about doing what was right. They watched as the men picked up the broken toy from the floor near the factory door, Ethan's toy truck. It was cracked and missing a wheel, but one of the men found a box of tools nearby. Under Hawk's watchful gaze, they started repairing it right there in silence. The sun had disappeared completely now. The only light came from the factory lamps and the glowing red tail lights of the motorcycles outside. When the toy was fixed as best as they could, Hawk took it gently and looked it over. "Good enough," he said quietly. He handed it to Ryder. "Let's go." The bikers turned and walked back toward their motorcycles. Behind them, the men stayed silent, heads low. As the engines started again, Hawk looked back once more at the factory. He knew this wasn't over. People like that didn't change easily, but for tonight, the boy's tears would stop. Back at the diner, Ethan waited on the curb, holding Wolf's hand. When he heard the motorcycles returning, his face lit up. His mother was there now, too, standing with a small bruise on her cheek, but eyes full of strength. The bikes pulled up, the engines rumbling softly as the men dismounted. Ryder knelt in front of Ethan and handed him the repaired toy. Ethan gasped. "You fixed it?" Hawk smiled faintly. "Not us, son." "They did." The boy hugged the toy tightly, tears filling his eyes again, but this time they were happy tears. His mother whispered, "Thank you. I don't know who you men are, but thank you." Hawk handed her a small card that read, "Road Guardians MC, protecting those who can't protect themselves." "Ma'am," Hawk said, "you and your boy are safe now. If they come near again, you call that number." As the bikers walked back to their motorcycles, the woman called out, "God bless you." Hawk nodded once, then started his engine. The roar of the bikes faded into the night, leaving behind only the quiet hum of safety and a mother and child who knew that sometimes angels didn't have wings. They rode Harleys. The night air in Ironville was cool and heavy with silence. The road guardians rode out of town, their headlights slicing through the darkness. For most people the day was over, but for Hawk it wasn't. He couldn't shake the image of the bruise on the mother's cheek and the fear in Ethan's eyes. He had seen fear before, on battlefields, in alleys, on faces that had lost hope. But seeing it on a little boy clutching a broken toy, that hit different. They stopped at a gas station outside town. The others thought it was just a short break, but Hawk was deep in thought. Ryder looked at him. "You're still thinking about that family, huh?" Hawk nodded slowly. "Yeah, those men at the factory, they weren't just punks. Something's off. You saw the crates they were unloading." Tank frowned. "Yeah, they looked heavy. Too heavy for junk." "Exactly," Hawk said. "They're hiding something. And if they're running operations out of that old factory, that family might be in danger again." Wolf lit a cigarette, his eyes reflecting the flickering light. "So what's the plan, boss?" Hawk's answer came without hesitation. "We go back." The engines roared again, echoing through the empty highway. The town was quiet when they returned, but as they neared the factory, a faint noise broke the silence, a truck engine idling in the dark. Hawk signaled the others to cut their lights. They parked a distance away and crept closer on foot. Through the shadows, they saw the factory gates open. The same men from before were loading crates into a black van. But now they weren't alone. 2 more trucks waited behind, and unfamiliar faces, armed, restless, dangerous, moved around. Tank whispered, "That's not just a small-time crew." Ryder nodded. "Looks like a full operation." Hawk's eyes narrowed. "They're smuggling something. Maybe weapons or stolen goods." And then, suddenly, Hawk froze. Near the van stood the same woman, Ethan's mother, her hands tied, a cloth gag around her mouth. She had probably gone to the factory looking for her stolen things and got caught. Hawk's voice dropped. "They've got her." There was no time to wait for police. Ironville's sheriff was 20 miles away, and by the time help arrived, the trucks would be gone. Hawk turned to his crew. We get her out. Quietly if we can. Loudly if we must. The bikers spread out in silence, moving like shadows. Hawk motioned to Ryder, who circled to the side door, while Tank and Wolf positioned near the front gate. Inside, the men were busy arguing about their cargo, unaware of what was coming. "Hey!" one of them shouted suddenly. "Who's out there?" The tension snapped. Hawk kicked open the side door. "Road Guardians," he shouted. "Party's over!" The bikers stormed in, fists and fury. The air filled with chaos. Metal clanging, crates falling, men shouting. Tank grabbed one thug by the shirt and tossed him into a pile of boxes. Ryder swung a pipe, knocking a weapon from another man's hand. Hawk rushed straight for the woman, cutting her loose. "You're safe now," he said firmly. Tears streamed down her face. "They said they'd take my boy next if I called anyone," she whispered. Hawk's blood boiled. "Not on my watch." Suddenly, the leader of the gang, same man as before, appeared from behind a truck, holding a gun. "You should have stayed out of this, biker," he snarled. Hawk stared him down. "Put it down. Or what? You'll stop me?" The man sneered. Before Hawk could move, Wolf appeared behind him, silent as a ghost. In one swift motion, he disarmed the man and twisted his arm until the gun clattered to the ground. The fight was over. The road guardians stood tall, while the criminals lay defeated, bound with their own ropes. Ryder called the sheriff on the truck radio they found inside, and got a warehouse full of stolen goods and idiots. "You might want to bring backup." The sheriff arrived 20 minutes later with 2 deputies. When he saw the scene, he just shook his head. "You boys saved me a week of paperwork." Hawk handed him the leader's gun. "Keep them locked up, and keep that family safe." The sheriff nodded. "You got my word." Outside, the dawn was breaking. The sky turned pale pink as the first light of morning touched the town. Ethan and his mother waited by the diner once again, just like the night before. When the bikers rode up, the little boy ran toward them, smiling through sleepy eyes. "Mom said you came back," Ethan shouted. "You saved her again." Hawk stepped off his bike and knelt in front of him. "We just made sure the bad guys won't bother you anymore, kid." Ethan looked up shyly. "Can I ride your motorcycle one day?" Ryder laughed. "You fix that toy truck first, little man. Then we'll talk." The mother smiled, her eyes full of gratitude. "I don't know how to thank you," she said softly. "You risked your lives for us." Hawk shook his head. "Ma'am, you don't owe us anything. We just believe no one should live in fear." Tank handed Ethan a small patch, the Road Guardian's emblem, stitched in red and silver. "Here," he said. "You keep this, so you remember there's always someone watching out for you." Ethan held it tight, his small hands trembling with pride. Wolf started his engine. "Let's roll, boys." The roar of motorcycles echoed through Ironville once more. As they rode past the fields and quiet houses, people stepped outside, waving. The story had already spread. A group of bikers who saved a woman and her son from a gang at the old steel factory. They weren't seen as rough riders anymore. They were protectors, silent heroes on 2 wheels. As the sun climbed higher, Hawk looked in his rearview mirror. The diner and the small family grew smaller in the distance. He smiled faintly. "Another road, another story," Ryder said beside him. "Yeah," Hawk replied, eyes on the horizon. "But that kid, he reminded me why we ride." Tank grinned. "Because the world still needs good men on bad machines." The group laughed as the engines thundered, their shadows stretching long across the road. Behind them, in that quiet town, a little boy stood on his porch, holding a patched-up toy truck in one hand and the biker emblem in the other. He looked up at the sky and whispered, "Thank you." The motorcycles faded into the distance, but the sound stayed in his heart, a reminder that sometimes heroes don't wear capes or badges. They wear leather, ride hard, and answer when a child cries. And somewhere down another road, the Road Guardians were already heading toward their next story, ready to fight for the ones who couldn't fight for themselves.